Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. This is going to be the second video on our Massey Ferguson 7 tractor. I recently did another video on this right after I picked it up. And I talked a little bit about the history of these tractors and the fact that I had one of these when I was a kid, which was my primary reason for picking this one up. So a couple updates since the last video. Before I mentioned that I had an issue with this tractor with the shaft that drove the gearboxes on the mower deck. I was able to source a good shaft. So I used, I actually bought an entire deck that had a good shaft on it, and I used one of the gearboxes and the shaft on that. So the tractor's fully operational now. I also put a new carburetor on it and replaced all the fuel lines, things like that, just try to get this thing up to speed. So it runs fairly well. I do have one issue with it where I have tried to cut grass with this and it seems to have some issues under load. What I haven't changed on this tractor yet is the points and condenser. Those are actually under the flywheel on these older Tecumseh engines. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as a starting point just to get everything up to speed, new parts, before I try to troubleshoot that any further. But hopefully replacing the points and condenser actually solves that problem, but I'm not sure it will. It sort of seems like it's a governor issue, but like I said, I'm going to try to replace all the other normal maintenance type parts before I go trying to dig into anything more complicated. All right, so right now we're just going to go ahead and fire it up, give it a little walk around. Maybe I'll take it for a little ride here, just to show you how it runs. All right, so you can see, like I said, it runs pretty good until you try to put the motor blades on. And I have cut grass with it before where it hasn't done that. I'm not really sure what the issue is, but it's almost immediately after you engage the blades and put some kind of a heavy load on the engine that it just cuts out. I thought it was a carburetor issue originally. Replaced the carburetor. I've tuned this carburetor multiple times trying to thinking that was the issue, but it hasn't solved the problem. So right now, like I said, I'm gonna go to the points condenser and go from there. If you have a suggestion on what you think that problem might be, you've seen it before or something like that, by all means let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, like I said, I have cut grass a couple times with it, and just overall impressions for using it versus what I normally use, which is a 318 you see in the background. Definitely not much power. I do remember the same thing whenever I was a kid, where higher grass, it just wasn't going to cut it, and so it really worked for small yards. The grass wasn't too high, worked pretty well for that kind of stuff. Not a lot of hills, and it just this 7 horsepower is just not a whole lot of power to haul a person around, plus actually cut grass or operate some sort of implement. But it's pretty fun, regardless. It just brings back childhood memories when I had this before. It's so much smaller than the Deere 318 that's in the background. I kind of forgot how small these were, and like I said, I was using one of these as a kid, and it was probably like just right sized for me at the time, being a 10 or 12-year-old kid. So getting on it now as an adult, it feels awfully small, but it's kind of neat though. All right, so that's pretty much where we are right now with it, just ironing out the last couple bugs. I would like to hang on to this tractor. I do like it, just maybe to use it for different, flatter, easier to cut parts of the property, just to use something different, at least for now. I was actually also able to source a set of wheel weights for these. They're actually pretty hard to find. These are about 20 pounds. You can see it has the 3 holes for the rear wheels. I think these also worked on the front wheels of some of the larger Massey Ferguson tractors from the time period. I haven't put them on the tractor yet because I did get the weights, but I didn't get the hardware that goes with them. And apparently they're basically a special piece of hardware that replaces the wheel bolt with one that has a threaded head on it for another set of bolts that goes in from the wheel weights. And those aren't available from Massey Ferguson anymore, so I'm probably going to have to come up with some kind of my own design to make that work, to be able to put these on here, whether it's some combination of longer and shorter bolts, all thread, I don't know. Haven't quite figured it out or even taken much time to think about it right now, but that's something I'll work on here in the future too. All right, that's pretty much all I have for today's video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for more videos. I'll probably at least be doing another video or two on this particular tractor, but I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.